This is number 3 of the Gastoldi duos, and we're going to look at the tenor part. And this is week 3, or is it week 4, of Stay Inside and Play the Viol. I've been very much enjoying your company along the way. It's been very nice to get people's messages saying which videos they've been watching and what they've been doing and what they've been working on, so do keep those coming. It's helping to keep me on the right side of sanity, and I hope you're enjoying yourselves too. We're doing all right, aren't we? So this is the tenor part then, looking from the beginning, starting in first position, starting on a back bow. Let's see where we get. You want a 4th finger here. And then you want, I think, another back bow. So the back here, because it's an upbeat, brings that next C out nicely on a forward bow. You could use slightly more bow per crotchet, so a little bit for the first one, bit more. It's a shame that those quavers are backwards, but if you think of them as falling away from the top note, I'm not sure it matters, and it brings the next set out really nicely. And here, this is halfway through 7, I would finger 1, 2, 4. Let's try that from the top. So counting in 2 and 1, 2. Let's carry on. So bar 9 I started on a back, not with a massive back bow, just with enough for a crotchet. And I'm thinking basically in first position and reaching back for the B flats. You could do that just as well in half position. And then there's an open string here to move up on. I do think you want that G on a 4. When it comes to fingering, or bowing for that matter, and you've got more than one possibility, the worst possible thing you can do is to think, well, okay, so there's more than one choice. I won't mark anything and I'll just see what happens when I get there. Because what happens when you get there is that you've no idea which position you're going to play it in. And so you aim partly for first position and partly for half position at the same time, and then you miss. And that's when you tie yourself in a knot. So just, if there's a bar where you think, what should I do there? Choose one, write it, actually just make a decision, write it in, practice it for a bit, and then if you don't like it, you can change your mind later. But the worst thing you can do is give yourself yet another thing to think about when you get to that bar, because you know there are options and you haven't decided which one you're going to go for. So looking at 9, just choose. Are you happier in first position and reaching back? Are you happier in half? It really doesn't matter. What matters is that you've got this on a 4. Back bow to carry on. And that's another case, like we said at the end of 4, that we'd start on a back up here. And the quavers are backwards. You're going to get the same thing at the end of 12. You could start it forward, and then these would be the right way round. I think the risk with that is that you make the weak beats strong, and I think there's a real sense of going there. I know people who would solve it by starting backwards and putting a slur in the first. I know other people who would fall off their chair at the thought of doing that. And I do think if you're going to do it, you need to do it in all the other places where that same theme comes. Personally, I don't mind starting back and letting these fall away. got a few options, haven't you, in 16 and 17. Are you going to play that in half position? Or are you going to reach back? And it just doesn't matter. Choose one, write it, and then you haven't got to make the decision as you go along. We're going to play from 9 then together. Bar 9, starting on a back bow after 1 and 1. Now going on, I think you need a back bow, and I think you need to play it on the F string, so 3rd finger for that A, and then all of that is on 1 string instead of crossing over here. So 3rd finger in bar 19, and then the octave 1 to 4, holding your bottom finger down on the bass nose. Reach back for the B flat. Open D string. Here's this phrase again. So let's go from 19 together, shall we? Starts on a back bow, starts on the F string with a 3rd finger for the A. And 1. Hold it down. Let's go on another back bow. So 27, I think, because when you look at 28, you need a B flat and a G. So really half position would be a good choice for this, wouldn't it? This is 27, and I'm starting with a 3rd finger. But then 1, 2, 4. And again, whatever you like in 31, you can reach back. You can play in half position. Doesn't matter. Just choose. Don't make the decision as you get there. Let's play from 27 together. 27. Half position just to start with. And 1. I'll keep going. Just the last section left to look at then, from 33. Fingering wise, I would start that in 1st position, 4th finger on the D, reach back for the B, and then start it on a back bow. Open string. This is backwards. It's a bit of a shame, but this is good. This is good for the strong weak at the end. You win some, you lose some, don't you? And that's fine. I would still start backwards in 33. Let's look more closely. Haven't said much about holding your fingers down with your left hand. So that C that goes down in 33, you don't need to move it until halfway through 34 when you need it for the F. And then again, don't move it until it needs to play the B flat at the end of that bar. I've managed the whole of that section in the top half, 3/5 of my bow. Try not to get stuck down here if you can manage it. So I think the risk of starting on a back bow is that people think they need to start at the heel. Just be careful you start so you can get yourself to the One, two, because you need the 4 here. But then you're properly in half position for the end. Should we just play that together? This is from 33. Starting in first position with a full finger, reaching back for the B flat on a back bow. And 1. From the top then, shall we? The whole of the tenor part from the beginning. And 1. I don't know if you can hear my upstairs neighbour singing through all of that. I guess it's a fair trade-off if I'm playing the viol in my living room. Right then, so you're on your own on the tenor part. I'll put the treble parts in, and as usual I think we'll do it twice. We'll do it nice and steadily, and then a second time slightly quicker. So I'm not going to count because I start, so I'll just kick off. faster then. Something like that for the minim. Just think about that for a second and I'll start.